Well, the Democrats are spilling all their secrets. Right now, there are multiple Democrats out there threatening to arrest conservatives and Trump campaign members once Donald Trump is out of office. I've got some interesting things to share with you, but the attacks against our side are really increasing lately. And I'm going to take Democrats at their word because unfortunately, Republicans have threatened to arrest people, but we have yet to see even one person arrested, say even for the files that have been going around. But either way, we had hundreds of people arrested by the Biden administration at this time. And look, if we don't start doing something, if Donald Trump doesn't, then I can guarantee you that those numbers are literally going to double when Democrats get into office. So I'm going to take them at their word. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And I found this on Breitbart, and this is just the latest threat, but Murphy, after Democrats win in November, people are probably going to go to jail. And when he says people, he specifically references the Trump administration. Take a listen to what Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat, says here in this interview.
Decided that his second term was going to be an organized kleptocracy.
And he's talking about Trump, by the way. He says Trump has decided that, he's going to have this organized kleptocracy, but he goes on.
That he was just going to steal full time and make him and his family as rich as possible. And he was going to make a bunch of his buddies as rich as possible along the way.
Nope.
And that if he at the same time destroyed democracy, destroyed dissent, he could get away with it. The problem is he hasn't gotten away with it. He's injured our democracy pretty badly, but the people are not cowed. They are still showing up to special elections, to protests, to rallies in huge numbers. I think they're going to get their clocks cleaned this November, and a bunch of people are probably going to end up going to jail.
A bunch of people are probably going to end up going to jail after he's talking about all of Donald Trump's stuff. The only people that I can assume that he's talking about there is Trump's administration and maybe conservatives or maybe those who are pro-Trump. People going to go to jail, because he talks about how Donald Trump is a threat to democracy and injuring to democracy. None of what he said is true, by the way. Donald Trump is anything but that. He has been saving democracy. But there's people out there dumb enough to actually believe Senator Murphy to say like, oh my God, he is, because they only read the mainstream media news. I swear, people here in the United States of America, I'm not talking about our side, they're getting really dumbed down. And I think part of that, obviously, fluoride in the water, among other things, if you get my drift. By the way, I want to encourage you guys to check out restrictedrepublic.com. I share a lot more information on that website as a quick reminder. And I got inside info. We don't put it here, right? For reasons you guys are all aware of. There's lots of censorship and whatnot going on. But I want to encourage you. I've done extended talks about what I'm talking about now. But either way, there is the big dumbing down of the liberal side. They don't even have faith in their side. The other day, and I'm going to go on a tangent a little bit, but I think it's important. The other day, Gavin Newsom came out and basically told a crowd full of Black people that, I'm just like you. I got a low SAT score and, sometimes I can't read. That was basically saying, I'm stupid just like you're stupid. I would have taken that as a hit. But the crowd went wild and clapped for him. And so the direct insult should tick everybody off, right? But the Democrats, they've just gone off the freaking deep end and they're insulting everybody. And I think their people are just so used to it. But there's a lot more that I can say regarding all of that. But the thing is, I think they really do. They really are one day going to start doing that once they get back in power. If Donald Trump doesn't start doing like a tit for tat thing and start arresting some of them who are committing crimes, not just arresting people, but arresting those who have committed crimes. And by the way, I think the other day at the or just yesterday at the State of the Union address, I think the Democrats made it very clear, and I said this earlier today, but they made it very clear that they are not for the American people, but they are for illegal immigrants. And it just makes more sense. They're planning to arrest people who are pro-Trump or Trump campaign or whoever they mean. Lots of people have said it. And then they openly admit at the State of Union address that they are not for Americans. Take a watch for yourself. I think this is really important.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Amen. Watch. None of the Democrats are standing up. They're all freaking sitting down. What does that tell you about the Democrat Party? Literally, they're all freaking sitting down right now. None of the Democrats are standing up. So in other words, they've just openly admitted to the American people, you're not first. No. Even though they swore an oath on the Constitution to protect you, they're saying, nope, spit on you, a big F you, if you will. And we are going to protect foreigners, illegal foreigners, over you. You know, here's other things to even drive my point home. Western Journal, Democrats bring illegal aliens to State of the Union as their guest, further degrading the safety of Trump and everyone present. They literally brought illegal aliens into the Supreme Court, into the State of the Union address. Not only that, but now we have Zohran Mamdani and AOC putting a video out there offering free daycare for illegal immigrants. I mean, you don't even have the job. You don't have to do anything. You just get it for free, all on the back of the American people. Oh, and by the way, you have to watch the words on the bottom so you can see what she's saying, because she says the whole thing, by the way, in Spanish. Take a watch.
Hola.
Mi español no es el mejor.
No te preocupes, alcalde. Si su hijo o hija está cumpliendo 3 o 4 años en el 2026, usted puede registrarlos gratis en el programa Kinder 3 o Prekinder de la ciudad de Nueva York. Pero debe registrarse el 27 de febrero, que es la fecha límite. Cualquier padre de la familia de la ciudad de Nueva York, sin importar su ocupación, ingreso o estatus migratorio, es elegible para registrar a...
So it doesn't even matter your immigration status. You can sign it up. In other words, you don't have to have a job. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to do anything. Say you're home and you just want to take your child and go have a good time. Say you want to go to the bar and drink and just hang the hell out. Hey, take my kid. Seriously? And they want us to foot the bill? And keep in mind, this isn't like a color specific thing. I hate that they do that. There's immigrants in every race, color, creed, illegal immigrants. But it doesn't matter if you're actually illegal or not. But hey, bring your kid. You don't even have to do much at that point. This is where we're at, folks. They're offering so many goodies to these people and leaving you to foot the bill. It just shows where they really are. And on an international scale, even the Pope is coming after conservatives, by the way. And this is why I am terrified some for our future. We know that via the Bible. But ZeroHedge.com, Pope allegedly labels far right his greatest concern in a private meeting. Recent reports claim in November of 2025, during a private meeting with Spanish Bishop Pope Leo XIV, asserted that the rise of ultra-right ideology was his greatest concern. The comments allegedly came in response to widespread criticism of the church by conservatives against its weak response to militant LGBT ideology and its continuing defense of mass immigration. The initial claims were published by the Spanish newspaper El País, known as a far-left platform. The paper says it interviewed some of the bishops involved in the meeting, and they assert that they were given a directive to beware of intentions of extreme right groups. Skeptics suggest that El País may be fabricating or exaggerating the context of the meeting to serve the purposes of the political left. However, it's hard to deny the recent positions of the Vatican that they have taken, because they have been really left-wing lately. So this is what they're suggesting. I actually believe it's true. Now, there's critics saying this, right? Critics of the church argue that the Vatican cut a deal with the Spanish government for compensation of victims involved in the clergy pedo cases. The cases were resolved this year in a landmark agreement. And they say, for compensation of victims involved in clergy, you can read that word right there, those kinds of cases. And there was a landmark deal that was resolved on that, but they say part of the agreement required the Vatican to publicly support Spain's new program giving worker rights to at least 500,000 third world immigrants that entered Spain through open borders over the past several years. So many people believe that this was a deal that was cut. So, hey, if you're going to do this and be more left leaning, we'll go ahead and, cut our ties and call it a day. But anyway, we all know that the papacy has been really in league with the United Nations, the international order, the new name they give it, by the way. We know the old word we used to use, but they're very pro that. In fact, the popes of the past did religions. They brought all the religions in one place, creating 3 buildings. I don't know the progress on it now, but they had Jews, Christians, and Muslims all in one place. And they all had one God figure, if you will, where they could pray in the middle to the same God. It's really, really intriguing. But this is the kind of stuff that we're looking for in the future. So anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, concerns, what's going on. Thanks again for being here. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.